Hey, what's up, everybody? A little while back, we sat down with a friend of the show, Bryan Krumm. He's a medical cannabis provider here in the state of New Mexico, and he's also an amazing resource for cannabis knowledge. He told us a little bit about why he got into prescribing for medical cannabis, a petition that he's been working on to help legalize cannabis federally, and a whole bunch more. Watch this.
So Bryan, tell us a little bit about yourself and your history.
Well, I'm a psychiatric nurse practitioner here in Albuquerque, and I actually helped draft the original. I wrote the original draft of the law here, so I helped write the law that we have. And when I wrote that, I had incorporated instead of a definition of physician, I incorporated a definition of practitioner. So when I was trying to get support for this, I'd gone out to the New Mexico Nurses Association, and they said, "We don't like where you wrote doctor in here, physician." So it's like, we want advanced practice nurses to do this. So I switched it out. We ended up being the first state to incorporate that type of language into a proposed medical cannabis law. We've had some other states that have kind of copied that now, and also allow advanced practice nurses to refer into the program. I've been working on medical cannabis for, since 1997. It was after California passed their medical cannabis law that I switched my focus. I had been working on just outright legalization prior to that. And I started working on that end of things probably, 1986. So I've been doing this for a long time.
Quite some time now, yeah.
In 2009, I had filed a rescheduling petition.
Okay.
Last year, the DEA finally ruled on that, and they denied that rescheduling petition last August. But I was able to force some pretty significant changes in federal law.
Okay.
So DEA now, they have had to stop blocking research like they have before.
Right.
So now we can get the large phase 3 clinical trials done with medical cannabis.
Wonderful.
They also have to allow more people to grow cannabis for research purposes instead of everything having to come from the University of Mississippi with the National Institutes on Drug Abuse farm there.
What's coming out of the University of Mississippi wasn't necessarily high quality medicine either, so it's kind of skewing.
Yeah, and the medicine that they just sent to Sue Sisley for her study, she sent it out to be tested and found that most of it was moldy, for one.
Wow.
And also it didn't meet the potency that was listed. So
really?
It didn't even come close to meeting the potencies that were listed, but it was her only source at that point, so that's where they have their cannabis coming from.
Okay.
Right now, Jeff Sessions, our Attorney General, he's trying to block the DEA from implementing these new rules. But, some other things that have been implemented, though, that came out of that rescheduling petition, is that the DEA had to finally admit that cannabis is not a gateway drug.
Okay. Huge.
Yeah.
That's huge.
And that's been a crux of their legal arguments for decades.
Since day one almost, right?
They also had to admit that cannabis doesn't cause psychosis. They had to admit it doesn't cause lung cancer.
Right.
It doesn't make you stupid as you get old.
Right.
And those are some big changes.
Absolutely.
So now they've had to, because of ASA, Americans for Safe Access, they came along and did a lawsuit after DEA finalized my rescheduling petition. And said, well, you just said all these things in the rescheduling petition in your response, so now you have to take it off your website. So now it's all gone from their website.
Wonderful, wonderful.
So making some changes.
Yeah, and that was based on your initial petition.
That was on the initial petition. Last May, I filed a new rescheduling petition.
Okay. Are there any differences?
There's the huge difference. The first rescheduling petition, I was demanding that it had to be taken out of Schedule 1. For the simple fact that it has accepted medical use in the United States. It doesn't meet the legal definition of a Schedule 1 drug.
Right.
They've opted to ignore that. They say that the only person who can decide if it has accepted medical use in the United States is the FDA, and because we don't have those phase 3 clinical trials that they've been blocking for years, the FDA can't say that it has accepted medical use, so it's still in Schedule 1.
Gotcha.
So now I am arguing that it can't be under federal control at all. It needs to be turned over to the states for control.
Okay.
I had filed in May. They still have not responded to me accepting the petition. Last time I filed, it was 6 months before I was actually able to get a response from them.
So we're approaching that time frame now.